Well, hello everyone. So, going to do a quick tutorial for how to set up a Git repository on your computer. This is super nice. Things you're going to need for this. You are going to need a Git repository you want to pull from. If you're on Windows, you are also going to need to go install Git Bash. You can just literally Google it or use whatever search engine you want. Make sure that you have Git Bash installed, and then I really recommend installing Sublime Merge. This makes things a heck of a lot easier. Let's get started. Once you have those things installed, we're going to pop open Git Bash. So once you get to this point where you have Git Bash open, you have what you're going to need is your link to your GitHub repository. And the command we're going to use is git clone, and then we're going to insert the repository link. Control-V doesn't work here, so you'll have to actually right-click and then paste. I have the path to one of the other folders on my desktop, and I'm going to need to type that in by hand, and you actually use forward slashes instead of backslashes. And then the final argument that you give it is this is going to be the name of your project folder. So in my case, I'm just going to call this git repo example. When you hit enter, it should start cloning into it. You'll see it can count the objects, it's compressing them, it's downloading them, it's updating them, it's doing all this fun Git stuff. You don't have to worry about it. It's literally Git just being Git. Alright, so I'm going to minimize that and head back to my desktop. And if you look, it actually made this folder for me, git repo example. And if I open it up, I have all of my project files. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to change this text file. I'm going to I added a line of text. I'll save that text file, I'll close it. Now we're going to head to Sublime Merge. So once you get Sublime Merge, the first time you open it, it will probably ask you to open a repository or create a repository. We're going to open it because we have one created. We're going to click on Desktop and head to that folder I just created, Git repo example. And when you click on it, I enabled show hidden files, which is why I can see this .git folder. Basically, the other way you get the .git folder is by initializing a Git directory. Cloning is a lot better if you start by making it on GitHub. You can do it the hard way and start on your computer and push to GitHub. I've not done that before. I'm not an expert on it. When I hit select, you can see all of the different commits that I've made over the time. And what this will show specifically is files that I've changed. So if you remember, I added this line of text, and you can see it in green. So our two options are discard and stage, and if you choose to discard something, it will delete it, it will remove that edit, and reset the file to how it was. So if I actually hit discard twice, this would go back to just what my friend posted who I'm working on with this repository with, but I want to add to it. I'm going to click on stage, but I can't push it yet because there's no commit message. So I will simply name my commit message, adding a line of text. I'm going to hit commit one file. And you'll see here, now it shows this master, but it's not the same as origin master. An origin master will always be the GitHub repository itself. Master is just my local copy. So last step I have to do is I have to hit push, and it'll say pushing master to origin. And once it's finished, you'll see that now I have master, origin master. If I head back to the GitHub repository itself, I'm going to refresh this, and you can see my commit message, adding a line of text. And if I click on sup.txt, you can see the text I added right there. I added a line of text. If I wanted to pass this off to one of my buddies, what they would have to do is they would have to open up their own Sublime Merge, and they would hit this little button, this pull. And if you run pull, what it will do is it goes to the internet and it says, hey, you make any changes? And if there are, it'll download them, and it will show who made the changes. You can see here that my coworker, Gavin, actually made these changes when he added the text file. And the other ones, you can see my username. So that's it for a quick crash course. The other thing you might need to look up is how to add your SSH key to GitHub. If there's a lot of requests for it, I can do it again, and I can show you guys. It's pretty cool, but it's also kind of beyond the scope of this tutorial. I just wanted this to be a quick and dirty how to pull from your GitHub repository, assuming you have a GitHub repository, Git Bash, and Sublime Merge. Those are tools that I highly recommend. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure to leave them in the comment, leave a like, share with your friends. Thank you very much for joining me.